Today's meeting of the Transportation Licensing Commission. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good afternoon. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, notice is hereby given that if you are not satisfied with a decision made by the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. Mr. Fields has circulated last month's commission meeting minutes. Is there a motion regarding those minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The minutes have been approved. We have a special announcement we would like to make at this time regarding one of Nashville's own taxi drivers, and I'll turn it over for special recognition to Rhonda.
Hello, I'd like to invite Mr. Gama.
Commission, several years ago, the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau created a program where guests in our city could nominate people who have provided to them exemplary service and have gone over and above to provide the service to our guests. And I'd like to congratulate Mr. Jama, and I'd like to read to you an excerpt or a summary of the nomination that was submitted in May. Nancy Verbick of Pennsylvania brought a friend to Nashville for her birthday. She was excited about showing a friend who had never been to Nashville why she loved it so much. When they arrived at the airport, they got into a cab, went to their hotel, and checked in. Nancy realized that she left her backpack in the cab, which contained money, personal items, including a bracelet her husband gave her. She went back to the airport to track down her bag. Remembering the color of the cab, she was able to narrow it down to what company the driver worked for. She got security at the airport to let her watch the video and then figured out what the number cab was that she had gotten into. Unfortunately, the driver of the cab was not answering his phone and could not be located. Mr. Jama, the cab driver she was with and the one that she nominated in May, ended up taking her back to her hotel after she had given up looking for her backpack. He told her that he would make a few calls and pray for her to find her bag. She couldn't say enough about how understanding he was and how helpful he was. She gave him her telephone number, and he promised to call her if he found out any news. About 15 minutes later, Mr. Jama came back to the hotel to tell Nancy that he found her bag. The cab company knew Mr. Jama had taken her back to the hotel, so they called him to see if she was still in his cab. He drove her back to meet the driver who had her backpack, and it was returned to her with everything in its place. To quote Nancy, "That day I fell in love with Nashville even more." Congratulations, and I want to thank you for showing true Southern hospitality to our guests who are visiting here tonight.
By the way, he works for Nashville Cab.
Taxi USA Nashville.
Well, taxi.
Taxi USA. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't